Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. We're going to look at some graded cards today for Sorcery Contested Realm that I just got back. I've been very excited about this all week. I've been waiting since Tuesday to get these, but it snowed and FedEx wasn't running and it was a whole thing. So we're going to talk about the cards I got, but then we're also going to look at every single graded card that's ever been graded from any of the companies, how many cards the companies have graded, what their cards have gotten grades, the percentages of 9s, 10s, 11s, 4s. We're going to talk about all that and why I chose to grade with this company in particular. But first off, let me get to the sponsor of this video, which is the Courtesan Cup. This isn't the sponsor. I just want to shout out, we're doing a East Coast event, a major East Coast event in Baltimore. There's qualifying tournaments. My tournament for this qualifying thing is on March 9th at 11 at noon. We're going to have a lot of fun. You can click on the link below in the comment section to come and qualify for the Courtesan Cup, where you will be able to get an alpha foil Courtesan Thias, the Parmesan cheese, as part of your whole thing. That is the big winning prize for the Courtesan Cup. At my event, it's free, completely free to come to play, and there's an alpha foil packed with the devil on the line, as well as, let's see, what is first place getting? First place is getting the pack with the devil, beta and alpha champion promos. Second place is getting a beta box. There's some prize support there. We'll have fun. We'll have a good time. So make sure if you're playing the game, you come check that out and hang out with me over in Hurricane, West Virginia. Here we go. We're gonna show off the cards. I've been waiting too long to this. All right. So this was a submission. This is my second or third BGS submission. And this is to finish off my set. This is like the last of the cards I need. We'll do a whole full set video as well. We got a 9 on the Mixterra. All right, so I like BGS because they got the subgrades. We're going to talk about all the stuff in a minute. I will be cracking this to put this loose in the binder because a 9 is about the same as a raw card historically for most BGS stuff. So I need a Mixterra for my binder, so they'll end up getting cracked. And then we have 2 Death Speakers that came back, and I previously got a 9 on a Death Speaker. I was like, I want to keep trying, so I bought a couple more Death Speakers. And this one, we got a quad 9/5 on the BGS foil alpha. This is all alpha foil, by the way, Death Speaker. So we got a quad 9/5. Beautiful card, absolutely gorgeous. Obviously my favorite of the avatars. Since I first saw this, I was like, I have to have this. This is going to be my avatar that I play with in Sorcery. And I've been playing with this deck and it's a lot of fun. The second one though, I think we almost did better. We got a 9/5, but the corners were 9 and the surface was a 10. If you see my fingers, I've washed my hands a million times, but I got a flat tire the other day. So that's just the way life is these days. So here we go. 9/5, surface is a 10. Corners are 9, no big deal there. The quad on a 9/5 will have a premium versus the 9/5. We can talk about that again later on in the video. We'll talk about all this stuff. I know you saw it here, the Death Dealer, but this one came back a 9, and I've seen many of these come back 9s. The centering on the Death Dealers has been very difficult. I don't think there's been a 9/5. I might be mistaken here, but the centering has been killing the Death Dealers. It's just off a little bit to the left. The rest of it did pretty well though. Surface a 9, corners and edges 9/5. The cuts on alpha, very, very good. This one is one of the things I might decide to crack this out and put this in a binder. I haven't decided yet. This is the only Death Dealer and foil I have. I don't think I'll be able to afford buying another one to have a raw for the binder. So we'll see when I decide what I decide to do for my my binder. But you know, I'm not going to have a raw stone in there. So you know, it might not happen. All right, here we go. We got an a Onyx core, and it came back a 9/5 or 9/5 basic. So 9/5 basic means, no, this is a 9/5 plus maybe. Yeah, this is a 9/5 plus. A 9/5 basic would have 2 9/5s, and a 9/5 plus has a 9/5, a 9/5, and then an additional 9/5. I think that's right. Anyway, who cares? It's a 9/5 Onyx core. Absolutely beautiful, the Onyx core in the BGS 9/5 slab, because of the gold slab up there. Absolutely gorgeous. Like one of the most beautiful cards in Sorcery to have graded, in my opinion. I'm extremely biased. I'll just let you know that right off the bat. I'm extremely biased. I do love that you get to see the back on the cards too. It's gorgeous. Beautiful card. Really, really honored to be able to have that. Let's get, well, we already saw it. Let's do this since you already saw it. This is a backwards, BGS put this backwards in the case. Avatar of Fire. Look at that. It's a 9/5 quad plus with a 10. 9/5 quad plus with a 10 in a backwards, inserted backwards into the thing. Actually, I may have asked them to do this. Now that I think about this, I think I asked them to put it in backwards. I think I put that in the notes. I totally forgot about that until this second, but I asked them to put one of these backwards because I had sent in 2 of them. So 9/5 quad plus on the Avatar of Fire foil. Absolutely stunningly gorgeous card. Man, 9/5 quad plus on that. Then we got an Avatar of Air. This one came back 9/5 basic plus. So again, I'm doing really good. You'll see the stats at the end of this video of all the grades at BGS. I'm doing very good on grades. Getting back multiple 9/5s here. Avatar of Air. These avatars are really spiking in price. All of them. Avatar of Water and Avatar of Earth, obviously the more expensive ones. But Avatar of Fire, another 9/5 plus. This is the same grade as the previous one. So 2 of the same grade. 1 is backwards in the case though, which is kind of cool. So 2 9/5s, really, really, really strong. And then the Avatar of Air. I can't remember if I looked at this one or not. I'm just excited because here we have an Amethyst core. Ready? Amethyst core in 9/5 with a surface of a 10. I really wish that centering ended up so I could get the 9/5 quad. But here we are. Amethyst core. Absolutely beautiful. Man, that card just looks good. And all right, I can't hold it anymore. I can't wait any longer to show off BGS's first and only 10. George was wrong. On the podcast, George said this day would never come that BGS would grade an alpha foil sorcery card as a 10. And here we have a BGS 10, really 10 plus too. Like it's got almost, I think Black Label is all 4 10s, if I'm not mistaken. The centering just off a tad, might be to the right, might be a little bit off that way. But absolutely insane BGS 10. When I saw this, I freaked out. Absolutely crazy. This card, I know you're thinking it's a 10. There's a million 10s in other companies. We're going to show you the stats right now because this is why I chose BGS. BGS numbers consistently across the board for Magic the Gathering show a premium, and other TCGs as well show a premium. And I'm going to show you why compared to other games right now. Obviously, I'm extremely biased. You can call me biased in the comment section if you do wish to do that. Because I do have BGS, but this is the why I graded BGS and why I value BGS over other grades for Sorcery. Now for Pokemon, PSA all the way, that's kind of what I do. But for Sorcery, this is kind of what I've done with the statistics. So I've gone ahead and went through every single thing, and now I want to qualify some things. I preferred to only look at foils because a foil is different, okay? When you have a foil, you are looking at a different card than a non-foil, especially in Sorcery with the back having, not just like the back of the card art. It's different than a non-foil. I think that's important. So the numbers you are seeing right now are just foils, other than the PSA, because I'll get to that when I get to the PSA. So BGS, there are a total of 453 alpha foils graded at BGS. This is the only 10. This 10 right here is the only 10 graded at BGS. Now there, on the pop report, you'll see it says 2, and that there was an Avatar of Water, I believe, that got graded as a 10. That was recalled. There was an issue with a Philosopher's Stone and the wrong grade. Anyway, it was recalled. That cert is no longer valid. This is the only 10 in Sorcery Alpha foil for BGS. 9/5, there was only 160. Out of the 453 graded alpha foils, there are only 160 in 9/5. That's 35%. 50%, 53% of them have come back in 9 at 244 nines. Then you have 9% at 8.5. A lot of those are going to be fire cores, the ruby core, because that one historically comes back in 8.5, and then the 8. Okay, so you see how difficult it is to get a 10 in BGS. Black label, non-existent, 0 of them. I never thought a black label would exist. Now that I've gotten close, though, I mean, maybe. But absolutely crazy. The rates of, 9.5s to 9.10s is absolutely crazy. All right. Now let's go to CGC, which is the most graded cards for sorcery, is CGC. 731 alpha foils. I went through and counted them all today because they don't add up the numbers at the bottom. So 731 alpha foils. I think a total of like 1,200 total cards. But again, this is just alpha foils. 0 perfect 10s. Okay, so they do this this perfect thing, and then they have pristine 10, and then they have gem mint 10. The pristine 10 is the one that has that really gold foiling on it, and that is like their kind of highest thing. And then the gem mint 10, everybody compares a gem mint 10 to the 9.5 when they're selling the card or talking about the card. But you can see the statistics on a gem mint 10 compared to BGS are much more similar to the 9. Okay, but back up. A pristine 10, 25% of the foil alpha cards graded by CGC get a pristine 10. 185 of them get a pristine 10. That is that gold foiling. Then 353 of the cards, of the 731 cards, which is 48%, get a 10, get the gem mint 10, which is a huge percentage getting a 10. And then only 94, which is 12%, end up getting the 9.5. So you can see there's a huge difference between a BGS 9.5 and a CGC 9.5. It is far, far easier in CGC to get a gem mint than it is in BGS to get a 9.5 gem mint. It is 13% easier to get a 10 in the gem mint than the BGS gem mint, which is the 9.5. On the pristine side, it is 25% more likely to get a pristine 10 gold label than it is the BGS 10 that you see here. So big difference. My point here is not to pump my own card. That is not my point, although it is obviously doing that. But the point is to say that 9.5s are a very high win for BGS. Okay. And if you just compare numbers compared to CGC, I mean, it's just crazy. All right, let's get to the other companies. Everybody always says, why don't you grade PSA? I don't grade PSA, even though I like PSA for Sorcery, because I believe that Sorcery's community is very heavily focused from Magic the Gathering. And in Magic the Gathering, the love of Magic the Gathering is the subgrades of which, BGS offers and has. And also a lot of people grade Magic in BGS. And so like, my theory is that you will carry over your preference from Magic into Sorcery and such, then Sorcery should just start out as BGS. That is my theory of why I started grading with BGS. Now, PSA, these numbers are not just foil. These are all cards because the way that they had their numbers, it was going to be way too difficult for me to pull out the foils. And also, they only have 382 cards graded total. And this is just foils for BGS. This is just foils for CGC. So not many people are grading PSA. And that in and of itself tells me PSA is not the way. Okay. Most people aren't grading there. The vast majority of people are grading at CGC and at BGS. So it's just not as important. But of the 382 cards graded at PSA, 224 of them came back 10, which again is like almost 60%. It's far easier to get a 10 in PSA than it is BGS. Even far easier to get a 10 in PSA than it is a 9.5 for Sorcery, according to these numbers. So again, now let's get into PGC or PCG, Premier Card Grading. This one's a little tricky. They claim that they have 104 cards graded let me pop it up. Let me show you exactly what they claim. It's already popped up. They claim 104 cards graded. If you come here, it says cards graded 104 for alpha. But then when they go to their pop report, they only show 2 cards. I went through all this. They only show 2 cards graded. So I don't really know what's up with that. Maybe it's just like, yeah, they only show 2 cards. You can't get the pop report to give you any other knowledge or any other numbers. So I don't know what's up with that. The only 2 cards that appear in their pop report, maybe they're still working on it or something like that, are graded 9.5, which would be, 2% of the 104 cards. Is that right? Yep, that's right. So I don't know what to do with PCG. Also, PCG did the Rudy promo, obviously, if you guys didn't know about that. On the Rudy promo, there was 1,031 of them graded. And you can see the numbers there, which I have carried over here for you to see percentages. 585 of them graded 9. 380 of them got 8.5s and 66 got 8s. So you can see it's very difficult to get a 9.5 or a 10 in PCG, and the Rudy promo did not do that. No 9.5s, no 10s. I don't know what the deal is going to be with what's going on with the actual report on any of that stuff. But if they only have 104 graded, you can see again, they are the least popular other than the Rudy promo. You can get into a lot of stuff and a lot of conversation on that. Again, it goes back to, in my opinion, BGS is the way, and that seems to be where a lot of people are going. And that seems to be what the higher end market is suggesting. And it seems to have, by my opinion, the grades that make the most sense. It doesn't make sense that 75% of cards should get a 10, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. They're basically not giving anything. CGC is basically not giving anything under a 9.5. Like, what's the point? Like, it's just silly. And then other people aren't really grading at PSA and PCG. So it kind of leaves BGS, in my opinion, as the most kind of balanced act of also people are grading at. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts. Those are the cards. I will show off one more time because I'm very, very happy about it. The number one, the only BGS 10 in the world right now. I'm anticipating we will see a lot more cards get sent out to get graded in the next couple months, and as people get stuff, so maybe that number will change. But regardless, pretty cool, pretty honored, pretty excited. You guys have yourself a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. We will see you again. If you want to discuss all this stuff, head on over to KitchenTableTCG.com, where we have opened up the Discord server and you can hang out. And don't forget about those events that I posted in the comment section below. Have yourself a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.